What's good, YouTube? Andre here with the DM Network. Yo, today I want to talk about the map size and, well, not necessarily map size, but the open worldness or lack thereof of the game and, what that means for the game and what we could potentially see and what would work best for the game. Now, before we get into that, y'all, please hit the subscribe button. Go ahead and click it now while we're talking about it. It's completely free. It doesn't cost you anything at all, and it helps us to continue doing what we enjoy doing and making content. So, y'all, I was watching a video, and I'm going to put a link to that video in the description box below. So after this video, click that link, watch that video, come back and let me know what you think. And that video is exploring the Naruto series as far as the Leaf Village. Now, the Leaf Village is the central hub of the game for like the story mode. And the reason I'm not putting it in this video is because I don't want to get a copyright strike. YouTube has been very, very strict on that. I know y'all been wanting me to show different stuff, but I'm trying to grow and I'm not trying to go back because of copyright strikes. I got a copyright strike for a Dragon Ball video I did, and I can't even do a live stream until next month on YouTube, which another thing is I'll be doing my live streams on Twitch. So on the channel art of the game, of the page, if you go to the channel, follow us on Twitter, follow us on Instagram, and follow us on Twitch, because I'm gonna start streaming on Twitch probably next week. I'm gonna start streaming Xenoverse 2, Dragon Ball Fighters, just talking and stuff like that. I want to build up that Twitch presence as well. So anyway, but yeah, follow me on Twitter, because I'm going to announce on Twitter, and I'm going to post, because YouTube has posts now. I'm going to post on there as well, a schedule for that. So, but y'all, in this video, it's interesting because in the early Naruto games, in the Ultimate Ninja series, up to 5, if the Leaf Village is basically open sandbox. Now, the difference between open sandbox and open world is open sandbox means you can go anywhere you want, but it's limited. Sandbox is more, in my opinion, I could be wrong about this, but this is my opinion on it, or what I think it is. Sandbox is more where you go in the open world and you're talking to NPCs. It's not open world where you can go anywhere you want, do anything you want. The entire game takes place in open world. That is open world. The Witcher 3 is open world. The entire game takes place there. There's no, the fights, everything takes place right there. Dragon Age Inquisition, that's open world. Tom Clancy's Assassin's Creed is open world. Tom Clancy's The Division 2, open world. Those are open world games. Sandbox, open sandbox is like Naruto games where you're in the Leaf Village and you're walking around, but you don't fight right there. In order to fight, you have to go to different NPCs, interact with them, and that takes you into the fighting and things like that. That is how I think this game is going to be. So when you're watching that video, you're going to see two things. First, you're going to see the early Naruto games, the Ultimate Ninja series, and then you're going to see the Ninja Storm series. And in the Ultimate Ninja series, you'll see that the world, or the Leaf Village, is open. He can jump on top of buildings and he can pretty much go anywhere he wants to within that big area. And when you get to the Ninja Storm series, you'll see that it's linear. Like, you can only go down streets. You can't jump on top of buildings and just go anywhere you want to. You can only run down streets, and anytime you go into a new area, there's a cutaway. Okay? That is not how I think this game is going to be. I don't think that this game is going to be open world like World Seeker, One Piece World Seeker is. That's an open world game. All the fighting and everything takes place right there in the open world. I don't think this game's going to be that way. I would rather this game not be that way. I would rather this game be open sandbox or free roam sandbox rather than open world. Like Budokai 3, for instance, the story mode in Budokai 3, where you're flying around, like you don't get to walk around on the ground. Now, I think they'll do it better than that. Of course, we'll be able to walk around. We see Goku walking around, being able to go into buildings and stuff like that. But think about Budokai 3, where you can kind of go anywhere you want to on the map, and you can find items. You can like go into different locations if there's a prompt for it. Whereas with this game, more than likely you'll just be able to go in there when you want to, kind of thing. But the fighting doesn't take place there. On Budokai 3, you would have to interact with an NPC to fight, or interact with something to fight, and it would take you to a different screen where the fighting would take place. That is how I think this game is going to be. That is how I want this game to be. So basically, when you're in the world part of the game, you can kind of fly around, do anything, kind of like Ultimate, or not Ultimate, but Legend of the Super Saiyan, where you can fly around, kind of do anything, a little bit like Ultimate Tenkaichi 2, because it was kind of like Budokai as far as map, and finding stuff. But think about it in the current generation, where you can actually walk around on the ground, choose to fly or do whatever in this vast openness. Now, the difference in that is, like I said, instead of the fighting taking place right there in the open world, the fighting it's going to cut away to a fighting screen, and that's where you're going to fight. Just like in Budokai, when you found the person you're going to fight, it cuts away to the fighting arena or fighting area. The reason I think that is going to be the way they're going to go is because, think about this, there's going to be destructible environments and things like that. So if it's open world and I fire Kamehameha Blast and it hits the Capsule Corp building, if a fight takes place in West City or whatever, those buildings are going to be destroyed. In an open world game, they're going to stay destroyed and people are going to die. Now, we know this is not Dragon Ball Z-esque. So it makes sense that this game is going to be more free roam, sandbox, with cutaways to the actual fighting, to the actual fights and stuff. And we want that. I'm going to tell you now, most people are going to be like, no, we want open world. I want everything to take place there. No, you don't. You want open sandbox, free roam with the cutaway to the fighting areas for the fights and stuff. The reason why is because you're going to get more out of the fights. You know what I'm saying? Then you'll be able to have where you're charging your ki and the ground is breaking up, like you've seen Piccolo and Goku doing in the trailer, where the ground is breaking up and stuff like that. You're going to have it to where, if you do an ultimate attack, it has this big, kind of energy explosion kind of thing going on. And where you can, if they do that, where you're knocking people through mountains and stuff like that. So just like in Naruto games, because CyberConnect 2 is the developer for this, and they're good at doing that, because when you go to the Naruto fights, I mean, anything goes, and that just wouldn't work in an open world game where you got, these elaborate ultimate attacks and stuff like that. You cannot do that in an open world game because it affects the things around you. And it makes it unrealistic, because it's like, okay, that huge thing just went off. Like Vegeta, say he fires a big bang attack and this huge explosion thing goes off, and it makes this big energy, explosion and crater, and then you go back and everything's there. It's like, wait, what? That's kind of like Xenoverse 2's issue. Ultimate attack hits and it doesn't even do anything to the ground or anything like that. It's just, whereas if you watch the anime, I mean, there's craters in the ground, there's rocks broken, there's mountains destroyed. Like, it's just, that's what we want. We want that realism. And I'm telling you, in order to get that, you're not going to be able to get that in an open world game. You're going to have a system to where, yeah, the adventure, the exploration part, yeah, that's in the free roam. You can go anywhere you want, find the Dragon Balls. You can fly in the Capsule Corp, talk to Bulma. You can go to Kami's house, talk to Master Roshi and them, stuff like that. But if, say, I'm finna fight Raditz, I find Raditz at Kami's house, and it goes through the cutscenes and all that kind of stuff, and it transitions to a fighting screen where all the fighting takes place. That is what I would rather have. And there's elements of that in the Dragon Ball world, like I said, with Budokai 3. And even Xenoverse is similar to that. In order to do a fight, yeah, Kantan City is not the biggest. It's a lot bigger than Toki City, where you can, in Kantan, you can fly around, kind of go anywhere within that area. It's not limited. But the fighting doesn't take place there. You have to interact with NPCs and stuff that would lead you into the fights and stuff like that. Picture something of that nature, but instead of it being small like Kantan City, picture a vast open area, because I guarantee you CyberConnect 2 is going to utilize the power of these consoles that are out now. And it's going to be amazing. I think that it's really going to be amazing. It's going to be awesome. And that system, in my opinion, is going to work better. Now, as far as the map, so picture when you're watching that video that's in the description, picture that like in the Ultimate Ninja series. You don't want it like the Ninja Storm series where it's linear as far as walking through the openness. It's not going to be like that. It's going to be open sandbox, free roam, boots on the ground. I'm sure you'll be able to fly. Now, when y'all seeing flying Nimbus right here, I think that's more of an intro kind of thing. I don't think that's actually a in-game flying thing. If it is, that's great, because that means that the area is going to be extremely vast. And a lot of people say, well, isn't that kind of open world? No, it's more open sandbox. It's just super duper open. It's huge. The area is huge, because you got to think back when the Ultimate Ninja series was out for Naruto. This was on the PlayStation 2. Think back on Budokai 3, how big that map was flying around that map. And now we're on PlayStation 4s. You know, we're 2 generations above that. And what they're able to do now is just amazing. And you know, so expect a vastness, you know, of area of exploration and stuff like that. So go watch that video. Come back and let me know what y'all think down in the comment section down below. I appreciate y'all for watching. Till next time. Peace.